Gameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2013 FBS Independence Preseason All-Conference team. So let's get this video kicked off by taking a look at the starting quarterback on our list.
Rarely have we seen a Navy quarterback have the ability to throw the football all over the field, and that's what Keenan Reynolds did last year as a freshman for the midshipmen, and should do even bigger things in 2013. George Atkinson is finally getting his chance to be the guy in that Notre Dame offense and should pick up right where both Sierra Wood and Theo Riddick left off. Jamal Williams was a silky smooth runner for the Cougars last year, and as a freshman, Williams picked and eluded his way to almost 800 yards on the ground and 12 rushing touchdowns. Hoffman is not only one of the best wide receivers amongst the independents, but one of the best wide receivers in the country and is a legit NFL prospect. Notre Dame's leading returning wide receiver, T.J. Jones, has some of the strongest hands for a wide receiver, and he used that to haul in 50 passes last season. Friel is one of your classic tight ends that come out of BYU, a very good inline blocker that does a lot of damage down the seams. Zach Martin out of Notre Dame consistently graded out in the 90s week in, week out, and earns a spot on our list as the blindside protector. At 6'3", 320 pounds, Chris Watt shows underrated footwork in pass pro and excels in that capacity. Mike Marbo shows the athleticism, the intelligence, and most importantly, the nastiness to play the center position. The versatile guard Steven Shoemaker paved the way for the #1 rushing attack in college football last season. Devontae Williams was a two-time all-WAC performer. Now, conference or no conference, he still should rack up a lot of accolades this season. The talented Amir Carlisle will add the explosive element to that Notre Dame offense this season, whether as a runner, a receiver, or even as a kickoff or punt returner. Stephon Tuitt is one of the more dominating defensive players in the country, and he tends to dominate each and every week. 12 sacks last season for the Fighting Irish. This is how good Ethan Manu Maliuna was last season. Until he got injured, he kept 2013 first-round pick Ezekiel Ansah on the sidelines. You want to stop the run? Call Lewis Nix III, satisfaction guaranteed. Max Ford was a nuisance all season last year at the line of scrimmage. He put together a very solid campaign with 37 tackles and 4 sacks. Versatile and multifaceted, the playmaking Vanoy was an integral part to the Cougars' defensive success and will be again this year. I'm going to go ahead on and put this out there right now. Prince Shimbo, in my opinion, is a player that will fly up the draft boards by the end of the season. He is that good for the Fighting Irish. Spencer Hadley provides the same type of playmaking ability as Kyle Van Noy. Hadley was in on 55 tackles last year and also chipped in with 3.5 sacks. Notre Dame's cornerback Kavari Russell was a first-team freshman All-American last season and is looking to not be just another one-hit wonder. Chances are he won't, because his talent says otherwise. Bennett Jackson also held his own as a freshman last year, leading the team in interceptions with 4. One of the few bright spots of the New Mexico State football team last year was Davis Cesares, the safety who led the team in tackles last year with 116. He's a very productive and fundamentally sound player. Daniel Sorensen is an awesome safety prospect. This is a guy that just fills up the stat sheet. 3 interceptions last year and was second on the team in tackles with 68. Another Navy midshipman freshman had an outstanding year, and it was kicker Nick Sloan, 6 feet, 190 pounds. This was the guy that hit on 32 consecutive PATs and went 10 out of 15 on his field goal attempts. New Mexico State punter Cale Chapman Brown set a school record last year by averaging 44.3 yards a punt and down 22 punts inside the 20. And our return specialist is J.D. Falsleb out of BYU, 5'8", 185, did a great job last year flipping field position, averaging 26 yards per kickoff return and 9 yards per punt return. Now let's take a look at our preseason second team All-FBS Independence team. The reason why I have Everett Golson as our second team quarterback is due to the fact that we don't know if he's going to be eligible to play this season for Notre Dame, but there's still some talented players on this list. Najee Lovett, all-purpose player out of Idaho, one of the more dynamic players in the country. Now let's move over to our second team defense. Willie Mobley, New Mexico State defensive lineman, 6'2", 270 pounds, one of the better defensive players on that squad. You also look at Dan Fox and Ishaq Williams, two outstanding linebackers for Notre Dame. And Paris Gaines is one of the more underrated cornerbacks in all of college football, 6'2", 196, excellent ball skills.